So I've been thinking about shortcuts. One of the gifts of being a parent is, you get to, I guess if you're a self-aware parent, you get to reevaluate everything in your life because you're teaching this precious little person how to do everything in life. So I first bumped up against the concept of, not first, but this is the first time I really started making connections to places in my past, which is that the concept of shortcuts. So kids, generally speaking, don't like to, they don't like to do stuff. Not at first. When they're toddlers, when they're little babies, they'll follow you around. They want to do things with you. But, they get tired. They get tired of you need to brush your teeth. Or I try to do let's brush teeth together. Let's family brush teeth. But, brushing teeth and taking showers or baths or even going to sleep. I was completely surprised by how often I would need to talk my kid into doing stuff that I didn't think I would need to talk him into. You're sleepy, go to bed. Which he doesn't want to do. Because also he identifies staying awake as something that grown-ups do, and he's special if he's able to stay awake. And he said to people on multiple occasions, I haven't slept in a month. I stay up all night. And it's no, you'll hallucinate if you do that. That's not what's going on. But, it's coming from this place of wanting to feel special. Anyway. But, so the habits and stuff that we try and teach them, are really about, this is how you take care of yourself. This is how you move forward in life in a healthy way. And I reached this point where I would tell him, hey, I'm not always going to catch when you lie to me. Trust me though, when I do catch you, and it'll happen sometimes, you're not going to love it. But when you lie to me, you're cheating yourself. You're not cheating me. I'm trying to teach you these things for your benefit. If you're telling me something that's not true because you're trying to get away with something, you might in the short term feel like it, but in the long term, you're going to have some consequences you're not going to enjoy. I'm not the one you're cheating. You're the one you're cheating. It's really interesting, to get really basic, in high school, when we're all, did you do the homework, or can I look at your test, or whatever, right? And then you get to the midterm or the final, and you don't really know anything because you didn't do the foundational work because you were cheating, right? Who's the person you're cheating? Yourself. When I was watching, both of my exes, really. So my ex-husband, he's trying to power over me. He was feeling resentful. He didn't feel like he needed to show up in specific ways. He may have won in the short term, but what did he do? He cheated himself out of an amazing marriage partner, and now he's looking again. And it's not easy the way maybe that he thought it would be. My recent ex-partner, he's gone back and forth, and he's actually cheating on me with someone else, emotionally and physically. And of course, he put the responsibility on her. Nah, man, you did that. Who was he cheating? He was cheating himself. Now he has to struggle and reconcile the piece of I'm a person of integrity, but I've done these things. When he was physically hitting me, dragging me from room to room, leaving bruises. I'm a person of integrity, but I got to reconcile it because I've done these things. And he did it in both of our cases by blaming somebody else. But here's the thing, can't cheat yourself. Even as we try. I often enjoy thinking about Donald Trump becoming president. I bet he thought that was going to be so baller, that he was going to feel so good. He got exactly what he wanted. He didn't think he'd get it, but he got it. And I guess he thought it would be like adoration and parades and everyone loving him. He thought, he'd turn on the news and he'd have what was it like? He likes ratings. Sky high ratings all the time. Like his polls would be amazing, He would just walk out, say some bullshit like he used to do on The Apprentice, and that people would applaud, He got exactly what he wanted. But can't cheat yourself, You want to feel like you can have that position of authority and power, that you believe that it's going to mean some things, but you're not in it. You are not a person who embodies any of that because you're not honest with yourself. Suddenly he's in a situation where it's like, why aren't there cheers? Why are people upset with me? Why are my ratings going loud? These must be lies, I've been watching like Fox News kind of like even turn on him because, their meat and potatoes is like that rage machine. So if it's their own people, there's only so long you could ride that Hillary train. Like she's not around anymore. So it's got to turn on something else. And so when your people are the ones who are in power, you turn the rage machine on that. So it was inevitable. So he's dying every day on the inside because he's not getting what he wants. He thought he'd cheat. Like, oh, I'll use my money and power and I'll get a beautiful woman who will just do what I want. So he's in certain types of relationships and like truly not feeding him on the level that he's trying to meet his needs. Can't cheat yourself. A lot of people like to talk about karma. Or think about it, like in terms of like, oh, somebody's going to get karma, and maybe, I don't know. I'm at this place in my spiritual development where, I'm literally just coming back from being an atheist. I don't know what anything is. You got me. But the thing, so you don't even have to really go to like a karma level about it. You truly can just go, you know what? You can't cheat yourself. You can't do it. And it's just really like natural consequences. If my son decides that he doesn't want to brush his teeth and he's going to lie to me about it and hide it, do that enough and you end up with cavities. And then you got to get a filling, and that involves a drill. And it sucks. You didn't cheat me. You cheated you. This also does show up kind of like, I feel like in, the healing process. We all super want to skip stuff. It's long, it's hard, it sucks. We want to just, especially if we're dealing with maybe, codependency. Like I just want to be happy. I just want to be in a loving relationship. Like, can we just do this, please? I don't want to think about me. If I'm with this other person, like I'll start to feel loved. And the thing is that we're coming from that place. We're not really likely to choose great people. We're not gonna let go when we start seeing, if we even see red flags. So then you're in this relationship and you're like, oh no, I'm in so much pain. They're hurting me. Voice of experience. And you just add more stuff to the stuff you got to deal with. So now you got that relationship and healing to do from that, on top of other relationships, on top of childhood stuff. If we would just take a break and maybe talk to some mental health people, take a step back, be alone. And again, I've never been alone up until quarantine, not really. So like that was revelatory. But really truly like being able to stop feeling reactive or feeling like we're in relation to somebody else, figuring out like, okay, where's my center? How am I grounded? So that when stuff starts coming at us, we're coming from this place of like, I'm secure, I'm solid, I know it's up. That is, I cannot even express. The pure sense of just, security, strength, even love and connection when you are solid in yourself, like that's better, I assume, than crack. I feel like that's better than crack, you know. Speaking of shortcuts, you know, the 7 deadly sins from yesterday. You know, if you reconceptualize it as 7 traps you might fall into that are not good for you, you know, that could work too. But, you know, like your pride, your wrath, see, this is why I looked it up yesterday. Your gluttony, your sloth, your whatever. Like, those are all traps. Those are all traps, you know, that we fall into a lot of the times to make ourselves feel better, even, you know, regardless of whether or not it's from like maybe a personality disorder standpoint or something, you know. But a lot of the times we start doing stuff like that to make ourselves feel better in the short term. My son doesn't want to brush his teeth because it's tedious and annoying, and he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it in the short term, even though we need to do it in the long term. So you'll see these lessons kind of reflect on so many different levels, I feel like. And it's a process. Truly, truly a process. I saw something on Instagram the other day, and I mentioned it to my therapist too. I was like, it talked about how healing is a spiral. You know, you one level of healing, and then you keep going. There's something else, and you learn something more, and and it's, you know. But luckily, you know, we're moving towards wholeness. You know, we're moving towards I am on a video showing my upper arms, which is not something I ever thought I would do. First of all, I never thought I would be even doing videos in the first place. I did not even take a high school senior photo. As soon as photos became optional, I was like, boop, out. I didn't want to see myself. Didn't want to see my face. You know, I would look at pictures of me and zero in on every negative thing, you know. And thankfully, over quarantine, I've like changed my filter around that to now like start focusing on the positive stuff. Like, I will say one thing my ex said, it's one of the best compliments I've ever had in my life. You know, and I get to carry that around. So even when he wasn't doing great stuff, like, you know, I get to keep the gifts he gave me too. He said, the thing I love about you is how, he said, I love your eyes. You can always tell that you're thinking. And, you know, I love how you can always tell that you're thinking. And I assume that maybe the way that I think or my intelligence or whatever was something he was attracted to, in addition to my energy, like he's mentioned that before. So instead of looking at like a photo of me or a video and going, oh, I don't like these things, I'm like, yo, I like this, I like that. Look how happy I am. You know, just shifting that filter. I forgot why I got on that topic. But anyway, so just this idea that like taking shortcuts just makes things harder. I would have conversations with my son's father about this, because his shortcut is electronics all day. And I was like, it feels like a shortcut, but you're not technically really giving yourself any, like, first of all, you're not going to feel good about yourself as a parent, I don't think. Secondly, you're not like truly giving yourself a break, even though you kind of feel like you are. So you're not even really getting like a restorative break. Thirdly, you're going to end up with behavior problems, sleep issues, maybe some sass and back talk, you know. And also, my son would tell me, you know, when I would spend time with him, he's like, oh, I spend more time with you than I do daddy. And I was like, no, what? That's not even real. Where are you pulling that from? And what it was is that I tend to spend more engaged one-on-one time with him, you know, versus being on the electronics in each other's vicinities. And I guess internally he's interpreting that one type of engagement a certain way and the other type of engagement another way. So even though he lives with dad now and they spend the majority of their actual time together, his perception was that he was spending more time with me. So, you know, again, when we try to take shortcuts, it doesn't work. And that's for all of us, you know, me too, Trump too, my son's father, everybody, my ex, you know, nobody wants to do what looks like the hard way. But once we really get a handle on, like, you know what, The hard way is honestly the straightforward way. That's the path that'll get you there with less nonsense. That's a path of more peace. That's a path of less harm and damage. You know, if we can like really get a handle on that, then we can look at going, okay, let me take a step back from, let's say, dating. Let me take a step back from, you know, toxic people who want to control us. Let's take a step back from, you know, whatever it is. Honestly, I feel like quarantine's been amazing, because it just cut out, like, it was such a big contrast for me. And it really made me recognize, like, oh, this is where I feel replenished. This is where I feel amazing. This is where I do not, and I don't want more of that. Like, live my life. I'm doing great. And, you know, it only took the entire world, oh, I'm sorry guys, having a pandemic for me to get there. Like I said in another video, I can be stubborn, but it's fine. You know, I try and take those gifts as they come. You know, maybe I don't like it in the moment, but at later I'm like, okay, I see what that was for. Anyway, so I hope you have like an amazing Saturday. We're doing bunnies, so I'm definitely having an amazing Saturday. And then I'll talk to you next time.